another citrus poem. So as Bob said, part of why he invited E and I to read together tonight is that we collaborate a lot. We write collaborative poems. You'll hear a few of them later. But we also write every single week on Wednesdays. We make up prompts on the spot, and then we each write to them. And sometimes a poem happens, and sometimes it's just silly. This is a prompt. We were at Charlie Carr Diner in Mount Airy, which is where we used to work. And there's an Audrey Hepburn on the wall. We had a lemon. We had some rule about not using a certain letter or something. Audrey Hepburn. I'd like to feed Audrey Hepburn a lemon, bit by juicy bit. Watch each lip curl in the corners. Her tongue would slip from its pouty cave, perky pink and rough, vague. I'd lay lemon in her moistened mouth like a whip. Audrey would purr, flush with spit, envelop it. So last February I did a fundraiser for Tupelo Press where they, the challenge was to write an erotic poem every day of the month and to get sponsored to do so. So some of these appeared in that, and this is another called Broad Street Swagger. Hip-hopped pocket watch, hammered gold chain. Green top, smirk swap, voice abased ring. Lip smack, come back, gritty city sting. Hand brush, blood rush, throbbing in the rain. So as you can imagine, writing erotic poems every day for a month gets really old. Despite the sample you've heard, I don't typically write this many of them. So I tried to write an anti-erotic poem, and that's what this is called. No more sex poems. Frantic, slow disrobing in digital text. Won't come, no more sex poems come. Stop sex poems, number the false starts, number false starts. I chew my hoodie, narrow Philly bedroom, beside black, blue, white, empty bed. Goddess help me. Jaw hurts, switch from ginger to mint tea. This mug is not your body. Doodle daisies while light snow billows horizontal across gray misted trees. This pen is not your body. Gray tabby purr encircles ankles. Maybe snow boots, scarfed walk, maybe slack-jawed, depressured, aviators, red puff coat, keys, this stone is not your body, above cobblestone clinking, no citrus welcome in this poem, mouth stiffens, jaw, no more ideas, your body in things, no more denying your body in things, no more den eyeing your couch stretched, no more sex poems, without, no more sex poems without body, goddess help me. So a few of these poems come from a just finished manuscript called A Pond Where Drowned Things Live, which is a line from Adrienne Rich. It keeps landing into this, which is tough though. And this is towards the end of the manuscript. It's called Maroon. Whole years of my life marooned. I mean shipwrecked. I mean the color. Imagine coaxing heat from a woman's skin with only your breath, some whispers. Imagine the heat as maroon radiating between your paused bodies, which linger beneath the moon, whose soft light still presses its thumb into your wrist. This, it reminds you, lives. And a deer noses rhododendrons while you confess and she listens, confessing back. And your love words become two palms that never touch, though your flesh longs anyway. A poem in which she fists your hair. A poem in which you part her dark gates. Fucking poems. Imagine your hand-drawn map torn in two, her half vanished. The pastels she'd illustrated with, dusted over the gray bark you are now gripping. Imagine the world spinning. This moment cupped in your moonlit hands is an island, and you are alone on it, with maroon dust now streaked across your face, the most ridiculous face she would ever see, if she were there, if she were real, if the story had ended any other way. So this is another E-poem, in that it's collaboratively inspired. I don't know. It's called On the Day Adrienne Rich Died. On the day that Adrienne Rich died, E texted me, and she was like, we both have to write a poem. And we did that night. In the poem, I say my sister texted me the news, and it's because E said that I couldn't have her name in this poem, it didn't sound good, and that my friend didn't sound as good as my sister. I have a sister, so she's great too, but on the day Adrienne Rich died, I woke with a headache, read Ginsberg on the couch 2 hours, orange tabby beneath palm, waiting on aspirin. Then rose, watched snow wet the deck. I sat at my desk, marked student essays on Sappho, read a few times a poem in the New Yorker called Truth. Came in my hands after lunch. I was greener than grass. Snow started to stick by dinner. My wife's quinoa and black beans, her stories from her day, my stories, as the sky darkened. Our eyes, tired crescent moons across the table. When my sister texted the news, I stood beneath the darkening sky with cracked tongue, taste of ash. How her words startled my eyes open, how the night caught in my throat. So this next poem takes place in Los Angeles, which is the city that raised me. And it's a poem, I think, about mercy. It's called Jackie O, not that Jackie O. Jackie O was a Venice Beach drummer. Blonde curls, a crazy halo of springs that swayed as her palms coaxed calfskin into rhythm. That summer night she taught me, and my 9 shots of Cuervo scorched tongue, how women make love. Social distortion spun outside the velvet curtain that divided her checker-floored studio. And Jackie O rocked a sweet ocean beneath my clumsy licks before a sour wave swelled and crashed through my lips in chunks across her cotton sheets. Some sexpot I seemed then, whimpering as I was before her blurred nudity. And what did I know, really, about tenderness, before Jackie O gathered and sponged me like a mother or daughter in her shower? Even now, her slow, skilled hands draw a clean white towel over my hair and body. And in her remade bed then, she cradled me. I mumbled, thank you, in the breathy hours of night and dawn, until Jackie O kissed me off. And never again did I see her, so ashamed was I, and grateful.